If you were the chief learning officer of your organization and you want to measure the training ROI, what metrics would you use? How would you measure it?
In terms of measuring ROI, primarily what you need to look at is the turnaround time for adopting new technologies. How long does it take to be able to upgrade and get everyone up to speed on the next version of technology? Having looked historically at when we've done things without significant training and when we've done things with training, what is the delta in terms of the productivity dip? Because every time you introduce new technology, there's a productivity dip. So the question is, how long does it take to get back to the place where they were as productive as they were? And then how long does it take to actually increase productivity? A very good example of this was back when I was in high school. I was at one of the very last grocery stores that used key entry for the cash registers. And so I was trained to actually do 10 key entry on a cash register. The last 8 months that I was at that grocery store, they introduced scanners, which of course every grocery store has now. And you would think, well, scanners are automatically going to be a whole lot faster than 10 key. But the fact was that we had a metric, items per minute, right? How many items per minute were checked. The items per minute dipped in that store because every one of those people was so good at 10 key and knew exactly where the stickers were and knew what the prices were. They were so good at that, and they didn't really ever pay attention to where the barcodes were and how the scanner worked and what angle you had to do things. And so for about 2 months, the items per minute metric dropped by about 35%, which is a very significant dip for a pretty, what one would think was a pretty simple change in technology. Granted, at the end of 2 months, the items per minute were back where they were, and then within 3 more months, the items per minute were double what they were at 10 key. So it was certainly a good shift for them to have made, but even in that simple shift, there was a dip in productivity. And so any kind of technical shift that you see, you're always going to see a dip in productivity. So the question is, how quickly do we get back to the level of productivity we were before? And so one of the ROI measures, I think probably in a lot of ways the most significant ROI measure is going to be what's the width of that dip? Because it's going to be there, but how wide is it?